Hi, my name is Natalie Fine. Thank you for joining me today. And today we're going to talk about balancing parenthood and college, the Great Balancing Act. My name is Natalie Fine. I'm a counselor at the Community College of Philadelphia. So let's talk about the many responsibilities we have. Parent, student, caretaker, employee. Now with virtual learning, for our children, we're adding being a math, English, reading, science, and specials teacher. Tech support, activities director, social secretary, housework, child advocate, playmate, and guidance counselor. Impossible, defined as not able to occur, exist, or be done. What we're being asked to do as parents during the pandemic, taking our classes online and helping our children with their virtual online learning is impossible. It feels impossible because it is impossible. This was a nice graphic I wanted to share. I know it's not just moms out there. Good parents need breaks. Good parents can feel unhappy. Good parents yell sometimes. Good parents can make mistakes. Good parents need friends, and good parents need help. Sometimes good enough is okay. It's okay if the laundry piles up for a few weeks. It's okay if your house is messy. It's okay if your child is watching more TV than they ever did in the past. We're all doing the best we can to get through this pandemic. I wanted to spend a few moments talking about Maslow's hierarchy of needs. You might have encountered this in your psychology classes, but basically this is Maslow's principle is there is a hierarchy of needs. The lower order needs at the bottom are biological and physical, safety, love and belonging, esteem, and self-actualization. Self-actualization being, have we met our life's potential? Now, I think during this pandemic, we're all right here. We're all stuck in the biological and physiological and the safety. And it's hard thinking about anything else when we're constantly worried about our basic needs. The importance of self-care. You can't pour from an empty bucket, and it's important that as parents or caretakers, we plan one thing for ourselves every day, even if it's just 5 minutes. I'm going to move my head out of the way. So this was another great graphic. We have a lot of competing emotions going on right now, and it's very possible and it is very okay to be feeling both sets of emotions at the same time. Now, you can feel grateful for your health, the family time, and slowing down, but it's also okay and normal to feel exhausted, stressed, trapped, or worried at the same time. It's okay not to be okay. Some strategies: ask for help. Can you form a learning network with your friends and your neighbors? Know when to say when. Maybe you just can't do as much as you used to. Maybe you can't stay as on top of the laundry and the housework while you have a child at home right next to you and you're both doing virtual learning. If you're having technology issues or your laptop or computer breaks, you can contact your instructor to request a loaner laptop. You're also going to look at time management. We all have 24 hours in the day. What's different is how much time do you spend on certain tasks. And each day might look a little different in what you prioritize. What's important one day might not be as important the next day. You also want to take a look at your environment. Is there a quiet space in your home? It could be in the basement, it could be in the garage. Think, is there a quiet space where I will not be interrupted or distracted by other noises? That might not be possible. So you can buy pretty affordable noise canceling headphones or earplugs at least to block out some of the sounds. Folding dividers so you're not distracted by what's going on around you. Also, it's important to discuss family expectations. This is when I'm going to be doing my schoolwork. I need to ask you not to interrupt me unless it's an emergency during this block of time. I created a do not enter sign for my bedroom when I was doing presentations or working, when my daughter knew she could only interrupt if it was an emergency. So here's my little distraction. That's the sign I made for my door. And she has interrupted lots of presentations, and we had to have some chats. Actually, the first time I did this presentation, she came in and started to make faces at everyone during the presentation. But that was a good opportunity to have a talk about what I expect of her when I am trying to work. And you might have to have some difficult conversations with those you live with in your home so that you can do what you need to do. Now, who or what can help? Your college instructors. It's better to reach out to them early if you're struggling than 3 weeks after not doing any of your work. Again, they can request a loaner laptop for you. Keep them in the loop of any problems you're having. You can email counseling@ccp.edu to schedule an appointment. We have a really great counseling YouTube channel with lots of great videos. Your child's teacher, guidance counselor, or principal may also be a good resource. Be willing to say to them, this is not working for my family and child. Be willing to ask, what are the most important assignments? Last year, I had a conversation with my daughter's second grade teacher, which was basically, this is not working for our family. My daughter is completely stressed out. And I said to her, what is the minimum my daughter needs to do to be able to move to the next grade? In the past, I never would have dreamed of having that conversation. But then I realized at that moment, we can't do everything. Everything, it's not going to be perfect. We cannot compare success to what would have been successful last year. Prioritize your family's mental health, especially for the younger grades. If your child has the basic concept and has reached their limit, consider completing some of the extra work. I do this occasionally for my daughter's specials. I feel if she's doing well in her reading, her writing, and her math, I'm not going to get too stressed out about her music, art, or gym classes, and I might go online and finish some of the assignments. I received this bit of advice from a retired kindergarten teacher and a marriage and family therapist, and it made a huge difference. There's also this great website, how to access virtual support services on the CCP homepage. It has a lot of wonderful resources and videos from several departments at CCP. You can also check out the web address for the free, low cost, or upgraded internet. And you can also look at all the counseling resources we have on the counseling webpage. I really like this quote. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask for help when you need it. I do that every day. Asking for help isn't a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength. It shows you have the courage to admit when you don't know something and to learn something new. Your support network. Think for a moment, who can make up your support network? Friends, family, instructors. Don't forget about the learning labs and tutoring. Even though that we are virtual, you still have access to the learning labs virtually. Your counselor. When in doubt, make an appointment with a counselor. We might not have the answer, but we can certainly help you troubleshoot. There's also the single stop program. They have a lot of great resources to help students with housing, food insecurity, preparing your taxes, legal assistance. Look at their webpage and see all the services that are available to you. The Community College of Philadelphia Child Care Access Grant means parents in school. This program is designed to help low-income students pay for childcare. You can contact the Women's Outreach and Advocacy Center at womencenter@ccp.edu. I really like this quote because we're all saying, a lot of people saying we're all in the same boat with the pandemic, but we're not. We are not all in the same boat, but we are in the same storm. Be kind, don't judge yourself. The sun will come back out. Some of us are in a yacht. Some of us are in a rowboat or a dinghy with a hole in it. We're in the same storm, but we don't all have the same resources to respond to this storm. Now, I thought it was important to talk about how many credits should I take. This is an important conversation to have with any student, but especially during the pandemic, everything is a little bit harder, especially if you're not used to taking courses online. If you're receiving financial aid, there may be a specific amount of credits that you have to take. But if you take on too much and either withdraw or fail courses, you may endanger your financial aid. You may endanger your GPA. How many hours a week are you working? If you're lucky enough to be working during this pandemic, you really need to look at how many hours a week are you working. If you're working full time, even if it's overnight job, and you're also taking 12 or more credits, that is too much for most students to handle, even if they don't have children. If you put in children into the mix, that makes it even harder. Especially for my healthcare students, you might be in an environment, a work environment, where you have mandatory overtime or extra hours. So you really want to be mindful of how many credits should I take. What are your virtual learning requirements? Do you or your child need to be online and ready to learn at a certain time? Most of the classes at CCP are asynchronous, meaning you can complete the work whenever you want during a given week, but some courses you have to be online at a certain time. Same thing with your children. What and who makes up your support network and how can they help you? Are you new to online learning? If you're new to online learning, you might not want to start right out of the gate taking 4 classes. Now, for online learning, I believe for every credit you are taking, expect to spend 3 hours of work. So if you're taking a 3-credit course, expect to spend at least 9 hours a week dedicated to your course. Now, why do I have a slide of the tortoise and the hare? I figure we can all relate since we probably spend a lot of time reading books to our kids. And I'm going to take time to just read this short parable, and there's a reason for it. There once was a speedy hare who bragged about how fast he can run. Tired of hearing him boast, Slow and Steady the tortoise challenged him to a race. All the animals in the forest gathered to watch. Hare ran down the road for a while, then paused to rest. He looked back at Slow and Steady and cried out, "How do you expect to win this race when you are walking along at your slow, slow pace?" Hare stretched himself out along the road and fell asleep, thinking there is plenty of time to relax. But wait, Slow and Steady walked and walked. He never ever stopped until he came to the finish line. The animals who were watching cheered so loudly for Tortoise they woke up Hare. Hare stretched and yawned and began to run again, but it was too late. Tortoise was over the line. After that, Hare always reminded himself, don't brag about your lightning pace, for Slow and Steady won the race. It's better to finish the race. So it is better to take your time, even if it means taking less credits, but completing those credits and completing them successfully, than rushing, burning yourself out, not getting good grades, and perhaps losing your financial aid. Here's a reminder to be kind to yourself. We are all doing the best we can under impossible circumstances. Thank you for watching. Again, my name is Natalie Fine. You can email me at nfine@ccp.edu. Have a great day.